Hey, everybody, welcome back, boys and girls. We got an incredible show. We're talking about 2025 and how crazy the real estate world really is at this moment. Michael and I are going to walk down a mind path of different interesting things that are taking place, and it's going to be an incredible show. But you have to stay tuned for the last point. The last point is going to blow your freaking mind. So, without ado, Mr. Michael Fielding, how are you, brother?
Good, Greg. Thanks for the introduction. Nice to see you again. Happy new week. I was just reading the title of this, Truth Exposed. Please keep all your clothes on, Greg.
Oh, I can't
No,
promise anything. I'm
we have,
sorry.
I have to keep this PG in order to stay on the YouTube channel, but um, I thought I'd give you a little laugh to begin with. Hey, I know we were just talking for a few minutes before the show. Rocket Companies has agreed to buy Redfin.
You were explaining that to me, and I'm really interested about that because I mean that is a powerhouse opportunity. I mean, what I did with one of my past mortgage buddies is we were partnering, agents with lenders.
Mhm.
We're doing three. That's not three, Greg. Three agents with one lender, um, and it really did well. And so I think they could really do a good job with this. Walk me through this. Help me understand.
So all I know so far is that it's a $1.6 billion transaction. It's done in stock. Rocket Companies, who owns Rocket Mortgage, huge mortgage player in the industry now, one of the leaders of online, at least, that people are going to, and they have agreed to buy Redfin, the real estate company that a lot of agents love, a lot of
Mhm.
agents hate. For those of you that aren't super familiar with Redfin, if they're not in your market, they were one of the first real estate companies to actually hire agents as employees. And they gave them a salary and they cut commissions to the bare bone. Here in Silicon Valley, for a while, they had 1% commissions. So it was a huge play out there for people that wanted to uh, be a low cost leader, and they did fairly well in the Bay Area. They're not huge, but they're certainly by no means are they small. And now they're going to be bought by a company that's going to start combining services. And I
That's
think when you
insane.
look at what's going on in the industry, this is going to happen more and more. People have to consolidate to try to get the most out of every single transaction. Now, I do wonder how RESPA is going to feel about this. Is this something people should worry about? What's your take on the legal side of this? I know you're not a
Well,
lawyer either, Greg, but let's.
I am definitely not a lawyer, not one bit. But I'll say this is that on the surface level, I think it's a wise move on both companies. Obviously, they're both losing money, or one's losing money, the other one isn't. But it's for the consumer. I think I don't think it's a bad deal, honestly, because I mean, Redfin, as much as I do not like the individuals I've interacted with at Redfin, I think that their combination could be a benefit for the consumer. So, so Michael Fielden and your beautiful, wonderful wife, you guys go in your average Joe and Jane, consumer, right? And you go and you're like, oh my God, I want to buy this house at 123 Main Street, anywhere USA. And you're like, okay, so who do I talk to? How do I get it done? Like, what's my next steps? And this next organization comes in, they're like, oh, well, we can get you financed and we can help you buy the home. Okay, sounds like a deal. What's the commissions I have to pay? Sir, ma'am, there are very low commissions and very low fees. So come on in, buy your next home. I think the consumers are gonna. It depends on they structure it, but I think the consumers will eat this up. What's your thoughts?
I think the consumers are going to be in a win situation here, but I actually think the reason that Rocket is doing this is the other direction. There is a huge, massive percentage of real estate purchases that originate with the mortgage lender, right? So
Right.
Rocket's capturing this business. They're doing advertising across the board. They've got online, they've got TV, they've got radio. I see them every now and again on social media. They're everywhere. So now
They
what
are.
they're doing is they're starting the loan and they're saying, hey, you qualify. And guess what? Let me help you find a real estate agent. Okay. And now they can capture revenue from both sides of that transaction. Right.
Yeah, I think it's a very wise move on their side financially. Now, is it a leap? Yes. Is it a gamble? Absolutely.
Well,
Um,
is it a gamble or is RESPA going to let it through?
well, there's the gamble.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
if they don't, then it was just a
but it's an
splash.
interesting conversation to have
Yep.
because when you go, okay, let's make this very simple. When you go to McDonald's or Burger King or Taco Bell, let's just take McDonald's for an easy reference, and you're like, oh, I'm kind of feeling a burger, and should I get the big fries or the small fries? Right. And so, in reality, for real estate terms, you're going in for the burger because you want to buy the house. Then it's like, should I get the big fries or small fries in regards to like who do I talk to for my loan? Should I get a big loan or a smaller loan? Like, what are my different opportunities here? So if folks can think about it like that, I think that there is a real possibility. And guys and gals, um, Michael and I don't make a ding dime talking about these guys. We're just having a good time BSing on air, hanging out with you guys. But it's actually fascinatingly interesting. I mean, do you feel the same way, or am I just completely off my rocker?
Is that one question or two?
That's about five.
So yes, I feel the same way. It's interesting, and you are completely off your rocker. But no, I think the purpose of this is just to put some opinions out there. And the whole reason that I brought this up this morning is I find it kind of interesting. I run into Redfin quite rarely in my business. I only know of two Redfin agents out of maybe 2,500 agents that I actually know personally. And they are both good-ish agents.
I love how the ish is on there.
They are good people. They are not necessarily, or were not necessarily, the best selling agents. Now, they did come out of good years, which is what got them into Redfin. They did require at one time, I don't know what it's like recently, I haven't looked, but you had to do a certain amount of business to be eligible to be a Redfin agent. So they had those years and they got into it. And I think, we've talked a little bit about this, and Greg and I have talked about it ad nauseum over the years. Good agents are good at drumming up business. They cold call, they get out and meet people, they go belly to belly. A good agent is also somebody that knows the contract, that knows how to read disclosures, that knows how to help their customers. Those all make good agents. Round all that out with people that are honest and have integrity, and you've got great agents.
Well, there's all different perceptions of great, right? And I think that again, this is my opinion. Just two guys talking on microphones. This has the potential to truly shift the way real estate's done because now you have A meets B, aka agent lender, and now you can go out and talk to a buyer or a seller, and you have the full package. I think it's a wise move. I honestly think it's a wise move. Honestly, the more I think about it, I actually like the move.
I think it's a great move if they can get it past RESPA, but I also think it reeks of the potential for steering.
So I had I agree with that. I agree with you. I remember back, oh God, it must be 20 years ago plus. I was at an open house and I was sitting there with my dad, and we were doing a broker's tour, not an open house, sorry, broker's tour. Um, and all the agents came in because my dad, if you guys don't know me or know him, he's been an agent for almost 70 plus years. Um, they all swarmed him because Zillow was coming into the marketplace. And they're like, oh my God, are we going out of business? Um, and we were sitting on this small counter, little workspace or something like that. And there must have been 25 agents huddling around listening to my dad talk about it. And my dad said, look, the market will always shift. You have to adapt to it or not. It's your choice. And people couldn't believe that response. They're like, how could you say this? Our commissions, this, that, or another. And he's like, adapt or adjust. You pick. And I was sitting there going, blah, 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 blah. What are you talking about? And it was one of the most influential things. There's a few people that Michael, you and I will talk about off air about who were in that room, who we both know very well. And they were licking up the knowledge of like, okay, adapt or adjust, adapt or adjust. Okay, I got to do something. So with this new shift that we're talking about right now, adapt or adjust.
Yep.
Either you're going to be a part or you're not. It's going to be up to you on this one. But I see this as a potential, and I say potential, new form of real estate. Michael,
Yeah.
do you see the same thing, or do you think I'm nuts
Well,
or pants?
I think they're certainly testing the waters. I believe that if this goes through, you're going to see a lot more of this. I don't see a scenario where companies like Coldwell Banker and um, Compass and even EXP don't come to the table with their own lender. I mean, why wouldn't they?
And that's what I've been saying for so long. Why wouldn't you package? That's what I did, 10 years ago. Package an agent with a lender that's already ready to go. I mean, it's like, hey, this is Greg McDaniel. My lender is Michael Fielden. Give him a call.
And I
And then
think
the
that
lender pays a fee into the real estate,
eh,
for women.
RESPA.
Good point. Okay.
So for those of you that aren't in the real estate industry, RESPA is a group that controls how companies can invest in the real estate transaction. And what that means is that a lender cannot pay a real estate agent or a broker.
They cannot. True.
So that's where I worry that RESPA is going to get involved. Now, I think Rocket's doing it with kind of the parent company. And I think that some of, for those of you that don't know, there are a lot of title companies that own a lot of real estate companies. And so,
like Fidelity.
Like Fidelity and, Fidelity and Fidelity.
And Fidelity.
I think what a lot of these companies are realizing is that you need more. You need more ways to show revenue. And it's just going to be I see this as being an accounting nightmare. Now, that's not to say it won't play
interesting
out.
Conversation.
Right.
Sorry, I cut you off. Continue.
No, it's okay. I see this as playing out. I think they're going to go to the mat and they're going to say, this isn't a violation of RESPA. We are just trying to control more parts of it. The problem is that it opens the door for what's called steering, me directing my clients to a specific lender.
You bring up a phenomenal conversation topic right there on the steering side. Because if you do, Michael and your beautiful wife, You're my clients, and I'm going to help you guys buy a house. And I'm like, oh my gosh, look at this opportunity, right? And I'm steering you towards my preferred partners, not allowing you to
Okay,
go to any large bank or a small lender organization or credit union or something like that.
let's
That could be a big
hang on,
problem.
Greg. Hang on. Let's
Okay,
step
I'm just
back.
saying.
Let's step back 20 years before RESPA and talk about what used to happen. And what used to happen is mortgage companies would come in and say, "Hey, I'm going to sponsor your open house."
Oh my god. Dude, my title companies used to buy me everything under the sun. I mean, I got like frontline tickets to basketball games, football games, baseball games. They bought me a pallet. I'm not going to say the name of the company. They bought me a pallet of water bottles that I could then give out to folks. And they were so willing to do it because they wanted the business. I agree with you. So continue.
And
Sorry, I
in
digressed.
the title industry, they were able to do this because Greg essentially controlled where title was open. You never hear a seller say, "Oh, unless they work for the company, I have to go with X title company." They didn't care.
True.
Go with who you trust, Greg. I got faith in you. You're my agent. You control the situation. So if Greg's doing 20, 30, 40 listings a year and the title company's making money off of that, they're going to spend some money on Greg. That had to stop, right? Because it really reeked of collusion. And the same thing was happening in mortgage, right? Mortgage guys come in. I can't tell you how many times I went to a golf tournament, play 18 rounds at, a, you know, $200 a round golf course because the title or the mortgage company was paying for it.
Yeah.
And that was just the way it happened. And thankfully, things changed. And I think that protects the consumer. It certainly reduced the amount
But
of collusion that you have, but it
what
also, hang on before you go on,
mush,
it
mush.
made it harder for those companies to insure their own business. And
Okay.
that's where this comes in.
Okay. So let's talk about this really quickly. The golf courses, right?
Yep.
I mean, we've all gone to golf course, tournaments and everything else, and people are like, "Oh my god, here's a free shot, here's a free cigar, here's this, here's that," blah blah blah. How is that any different from lobbying in politics? And why is it illegal potentially in real estate, but not illegal in politics? So you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, Green Party, pick your freaking poison. Don't care. Why is it different?
Because the person that's spending the money has a choice.
Okay.
So, as an American consumer, you're not spending any money in politics.
Right. The analogy is a lobbyist. So a lender or a escrow company, title company, whatever, they're essentially lobbyists because they come out, they hang out with you, they bring you gifts, and they want your business, right? So what's the difference? I really don't understand the
Okay.
problem here.
I'll
But
tell you the
you and I need to
difference.
get into a deeper conversation in
I'll tell
regards
you
to
the
where
difference.
the market is going in 2024. But I mean, just resonate that in your brain. Mike, I'll give you your final thoughts on this one.
Here's the difference, Greg, and this is a rat hole for us not to chase down. The difference is that there is nobody to protect that circle of politician, lobbyist, consumer. And at the end of the day, the people that do make the rules are the ones that are getting the money put in their pocket.
True. And
So,
that is the circle of life taking place. And
yep,
I just had two of my dogs lay on my feet at one time right now.
nice.
Let's jump into this. Let's talk about
Well,
chatbots.
okay, let's talk about why I brought this up, Greg. I got
Yeah.
3 or 4 emails after our last show, people talking about chat and the stuff they were able to do with generative AI and the tools that we have and the stuff that they're building up there. And I'm going to tell you, it was a really positive experience for me. One, to hear that people are listening, but that people are actually using the technology. And we're going to come up with some other more instructive conversations about this. But I did want to talk for the people that came back and said, well, is chat ever going to be successful? Is generative AI really going to take off and be the next step? And I'm going to tell you that yes, it is. And Greg and I have talked about this quite a bit. But, a chatbot is really just generative AI programmed to have a conversation with somebody. Okay. And it can be a conversation like this. We're not AI, but we could be.
We could be.
Could be other things too. So when we talk about this, 75% of consumers worldwide. So mind you, not everybody in the world has a computer, but 75% of the consumers worldwide have used a chatbot in the past 12 months. Okay.
So, we're searching adult content. Are we searching, the local restaurants?
You
Are
could
we
be
searching
searching the
for
restaurant that gives you
anything?
menus. You could be searching a
Okay.
great one is customer service. And we're going to talk
Oh,
about that in a second. So let's go on to some of these other statistics, then we'll dive
cool.
a little further into that. Okay. Artificial intelligence experience. Okay. 87% of consumers in 2021, this is 4 years old now, had a positive experience or neutral experience with AI. Only 12% was negative. Okay. 40% of internet users do not have a preference between a chatbot or a human. Okay. This is a big deal. 62% would rather engage with a chatbot than wait for a human to respond.
See, okay, all right. I'm gonna stop you really quickly. I am definitely not in that 62%. Like, I will wait for a human. Like, it's like, "Oh, hi, Greg. We recognize your number, and, it's from this device, and, your wait time is 5 minutes." I'm like, "Great, cool, 5
Okay.
minutes.
But
I'll wait for it." I do not wanna talk with AI, and that's just me.
now, couple of parts. The AI, generative AI as a computer voice is getting better. In a
Mm,
lot of cases, you're not even going to know the difference. A lot of these conversations are online, right? So if you're having a chat with an American Express or Coldwell Banker's corporate office or Compass corporate office, you may well be engaging with a chatbot and you don't even know it. So
hmm,
remember, not all conversations these days are on the telephone,
hmm.
especially as we go mobile and mobile apps more and more because you're using, short phrases. Chatbot is a lot more common than you think. Now, here's the scary part.
Well, you already have me scared, so keep going.
69% of consumers prefer chatbots.
What?
Okay. And do you know why? The
Because they
reason
talk
is
hate talking to
because
humans?
chatbots have faster, more relevant access to information. Okay. Which ties into 41% of consumers believe chatbots provide a better customer experience. Okay. And I would take this down to you call your local cable company or your internet service provider and you get somebody that just doesn't get it. Chatbot gets it.
Tr True on that point, and, uh, the more I think about it, I agree with that thought pattern, hypothetically,
Mhm.
because it
Because it's fact.
a lot shut up. A lot of the time, it's outsourced to another country, and so there's not a similarity there in sometimes mindsets, um
Mhm.
and that's fine. I mean, a company's gotta make money, so,
Yep.
go where the money is made. Um, but it's
Well, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get
oh,
to the money side of it.
thank baby Jesus. Okay,
Okay.
let's go.
And we're gonna do that in a use case. So Klarna is a payment processing firm. They help people buy stuff. And in 2023, they built an AI assistant. Okay. And what the AI assistant was tasked with doing is interact with customers on things like refunds, returns, and cancellations. Okay. They built their tool on ChatGPT and they put it online 24/7. They made it fluent in 35 languages.
Dang.
Okay. So now, if you think the bare minimum, they got rid of 35 people that speak 35 different languages, or they expanded what they can do. Now, what's interesting and what makes this valuable is they handle a ton of calls. Okay. So this study, they handled 2.3 million conversations. Okay.
A
This
day.
was the full-time work of 700 human people. Okay. And I'm not going to get into the fact that humans got replaced by technology. Sorry, they can do other things. That's not the discussion. Okay. What they found is the issues, these returns, cancellations, refunds, were resolved 7 times quicker by the computer.
Well, isn't it the same thing as like Amazon switching out human beings for robots in their distribution centers? I mean,
No, this is quite a bit different because robots aren't scalable. There's still a time that, you can't have 500 robots running around the warehouse. They'll run into each other. Okay, a chat engine is scalable. Okay, the robots also don't depend on 35 languages,
it does
and
not.
they're
It does
not
not.
engaging in computers, or excuse me, engaging with consumers. This is an interaction. This is actually intelligence that is learning from the transaction. Okay, so
So walk
7
me
times
through
quicker.
that
Now
because I'm
let's talk.
I'm very interested about this actually.
Okay, but hang on here. Now the repeat inquiries dropped by 25%. Okay, that's a huge number.
That's a big
Okay,
number.
did they lose any satisfaction? 100% no. Remain stable. People that were happy. And I think people that weren't happy weren't going to be happy no matter who they talked to. Wildest part, they're expecting to see a $40 million increase in profits by using this technology.
And that could be this year, next year. It could be exponential growth on that because they're cutting costs. And I'll be honest with you. I'll be real honest with you. If I'm sitting on the phone or whatever, right, and or keypad, and someone or something or it, I'm going to use the proper pronoun for this, um, goes like, "Oh, how can I help you?" I'm like, well, I need yada yada yakety schmack." And they're like, "Oh, okay, we can help you here. We're going to direct you to this individual of this department." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Like, and they're like, "Here, da, 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 click the link." And I click the link. They're like, "Okay, thank you so much. See you later." And then I get my problem solved. See, I want to say I have a problem with this,
Well,
but I don't.
I'm going to tell you that any problem that you have with this is in your head.
It's my own personal issue.
It's your own personal issues, because I think that what we've found is the customer service experience does not change.
All right.
Satisfaction is remaining stable. People that want to like it. People that don't, and that's okay. But they're going to make an extra $40 million in 1 year.
I can invest in that. I'm
I'm
good with
in.
that.
I'm in. All right. So let's talk a little bit more about one of the places that this can play in real estate. And Greg, I know you've got some history in this, so I'm going to just kind of play this out, talking
Sure.
about valuations, right? One of the things that people always want to know, what's my house worth? What's my house worth? Is it going to be worth more tomorrow? Is it going to be worth less tomorrow? What's the story? Okay. And I'm going to tell you that you have this graph, seller's market, buyer's market. When's the price go up? When's the price go down? Graph doesn't matter. What is good about this is that AI probably already knows what's coming next. And they are
Yeah.
building valuations. And I know, we've talked about this before, Greg, this predictive analytics. Um, you've got some history in this. What do you think about predictive analytics?
I think it's incredibly interesting. My father founded the whole predictive analytics cycle about 12, 15 years ago. My brother ran with it until he sold his company last month. But the data you can get on somebody would make your heart hurt. Like I could know your VIN number of your car, who you donate politically to, what kind of car you drive, when's the last time you paid your taxes, your house, your apartment, your condo, your investments, everything is for sale. And you put it into an algorithm, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. You put it into an algorithm that's smart, and it'll predict the living snot out of your next moves. When my dad first started the company that he founded, um, he gave me an iPad, and this is what back when iPads were like super heavy, right? And I went door knocking with this giant stinking iPad. And I would just pull it up. I would just say, like, hey, Sue Smith at 123 Street, anywhere USA. You guys bought it in 2000, wait, no, 1997 for X amount of dollars. Projected, price would be this. And people lost their marbles. They're like, how would you know this? And so then I would hop, skip, and jump between different properties because with predictive analytics, um, it's not like door knocking or cold calling, right? It is literally smart prospecting where you would go and you would hit the right people at the right time because you can calibrate this algorithm. So you can say, like, they've owned the property for minimum of 3 years, 5 years, 2 years, 1 year, 10 years, whatever. Pick a number, right? And then you just walk to the freaking address and you're like, "Hi, do you want to sell your home?" And that is the power. Once you know the information and the history behind it, and you know the potential engagement that you're going to have, now you're going out there with a loaded gun, hypothetically, no weapons involved, and you can go do what they need to have done. So I think I only think it's going to get bigger. I mean, we are on the front side of this thing big time, but the back side of this, if you guys can grip and rip and hold on to your shoestrings and just go for the ride, you're going to do very well because your competitors will not. So, Michael, long answer to a short question.
And I think that, we all do our own little predictive analytics every day in real estate, right? Oh, you bought
Of
your
course.
house last year. You're probably not ready to sell.
Hmm.
Oh, you're in a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and you just had triplets. Maybe it's time, right? Those are all part of it.
Maybe it's that time to make a move.
Maybe
Just
it's time.
saying.
Yep. All right. So next, as we go into this, let's talk about virtual property tours and augmented reality. Okay. In recent years, what do they call it? The 3D walkthrough Matterport has become so popular that you can now literally walk through a house. Well, the future's coming, right? And what we're seeing now with AI is your client can go take a picture in their house with their iPad or their iPhone of the furniture that they know they don't want to get rid of. Click, 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 click. And then they can walk around a house and see their furniture in that house. Okay.
Wait,
Even if
what?
it's not vacant.
Hold on. I'm going to get rid of this really quickly.
Okay.
Sorry.
So you have a way to do that. You also don't have to be with your clients anymore. They can go in and they can get a tour and a walkthrough without you. That's kind of less and less common. What are you looking for, Greg?
I got rid of the anyway logo. I just want to see the slides.
Yeah. So in this one, they're just kind of showing what their house could look like in different things. Now, there are a lot of companies also that are doing colors, right? I know
Wait.
Bear has a great app. You can say, okay, show me this room that's all white in the colors of my choice.
Hmm.
It will change the color of the wall really easily. These are available as free apps today. Okay.
That is the coolest thing. Why are agents not using that when they walk through with a buyer?
Because they
That's
don't
the
understand
question.
it. And it's not perfect, but it's a great way to show stuff off. The other thing that we've talked a little bit about before, and this is the last slide that I have for you, is you can use AI image generation right now to take a vacant home and stage it. And what's cool about that, if you're using tools that are designed for this, you can even say, show me this room. You upload the picture staged with IKEA furniture. It's going to go out and read the IKEA catalog and it's going to stage your home one way or the other. Really great way to leverage the technology for homes that are less likely to be staged. A great use of that is apartments, right?
Hmm.
You can go in and say, okay, my kids get in their first apartment. It's a 1 bedroom, 1 bath. You snap a few pictures, boom, 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 away you go. You can also do this with Box Brownie, where you send them pictures and they will stage the home for you. Okay.
Yeah,
The
I've done
virtual
Box
staging.
Brownie. It's like $35 a room or something like that. It's a very affordable price, and you can pick your style, like you said, color, everything, and the clients love it. By the way, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
because guess what? No movers come in and come out of your house, so no dings or wall marks or anything like
Yep.
that. I mean, the movers are phenomenal gentlemen and
Well,
ladies, but this is so much
and
easier.
Greg, if you like Box Brownie, I'm going to tell you the next step is Snap, Snap, Snap.
What the heck is snap, snap, snap?
Snap, Snap, Snap is an app that you can run on your smart device and you can go out. I take I got one here. I take a selfie stick with my iPhone, load up
Yeah.
the Snap, Snap, Snap app, take pictures of the property, and then upload them directly from Snap, Snap, Snap to Box Brownie. And you're
Seriously?
going to save money because they know what quality they're getting. It's cheaper and they will turn it around in 24 hours.
Get out of here. You're
Yep.
kidding me, right?
Nope. Snap, 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 baby. It is Box Brownie. It's just
Is
snap,
it
snap, snap.
box brownie or is it they changed it to
Sorry,
box?
Box Brownie. I get them. It's Box Brownie, but
Okay,
it's
I'm like,
now Snap,
did I
Snap, Snap
miss something here?
is the app. And
Snap,
it
snap,
is
snap.
fast and painless. Yeah, it's called Snap, Snap, Snap. And you can't see it here, but
Okay,
you
go
can
to
upload
here, throw it up.
a bunch of photos
Yeah.
and then they will send them back staged.
So you and I both have iPhones, right? So I
Yep.
take my iPhone and I'm like, click, 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 click.
Yep.
And then they're like, okay, how do you want it staged? And you're
Yeah.
like, I want it
Well, no, you don't. They don't even
modern,
ask
minimalistic.
when you're uploading. So you've taken your pictures, you decide which ones you want to use. You put a description of what you want, and you upload it.
Hmm. What's the cost on that, by the way?
I want to say last time I did it for like 8 rooms, it ended up costing me about $200.
That is literally nothing. That is fantastically
Now, that
awesome.
was about a year ago. Was the last time I've used it. Let me see if I can. figure out. They don't list their pricing. You do need a selfie stick. Okay. Let's see. Am I able to?
Could you take shots with a drone?
Yeah. So no. They do require.
Yes or no?
Because no, I'm just trying to think of whether you could do it. It is an HDR image that they start with. So when you put the camera on a selfie stick, it actually takes 18 photos, not 18, I think it's 8 photos, different dynamic ranges so that it can deal with the shadows.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
But they can also do image enhancement. They can take out, if you have a space that's too dark, you have an exterior that you want from day to dusk, they can do all of that at Box Brownie, which is also
Box
Snap.
brownie.
Box Brownie. Sorry, I blah blah blah.
I don't know why you keep saying like how many boxes are involved here? I mean, are we talking about Girl Scout cookies? I mean, good Lord. So let me ask you this, and we're going to wrap this up really quick. I know you want to bring something up here on
Yeah.
stage.
So here's some examples of what they do. There's before and after, right? Day to dusk, image enhancement. Look at the grass there. They've changed.
Dude, seriously?
There's not staged to staged. Which one are you going to buy into?
I'm going to go for the right-hand side photo all the time.
100%. 100%. There's a great one too. How many times have we taken the picture on the left?
All the time.
So yeah, I think great way for you to do that. Now it's just cycling through those. We can take that off screen, Greg.
Oh, okay. Coming off screen.
So,
well, you know what, Michael? We've been going for 41 minutes at this point, and I got to tell you, the content here has been astonishingly interesting. And the reason why I say that, because I just got a new drone.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know how to use it, but I would love to get some photos and videos from that thing. And that's why I asked about the drones, because, put it into your real estate business. And this has the follow feature, follow me feature, 4K camera right there. And just go out there and just make content, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, have fun doing this.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be professional, kind, courteous, and have some freaking fun with it. Be a character. Don't be a stooge. I mean, go out there and show your real self to the world, because people are going to buy into you in half a nanosecond. So as soon as they're like, oh my gosh, this guy, this girl, this couple, this team, they're like me. Go out and do it.
Yep.
Don't hold back. Michael just gave you all the tools for it.
Yeah.
So, all Michael, right. Final thoughts.
Yep. Final thoughts. We talked about a lot today. Let's wrap this up by just saying, if you guys have questions or need more information, Greg at regeeks.com or Michael at regeeks.com or Michael at Support Geeks. You're welcome to reach out to us at any point in time. If there's something that you want to hear about or some additional information you'd like us to talk about with AI or any real estate technology, we're going to start moving to some other platforms in the coming weeks. We will look forward to seeing you here and enjoyed having you watch the show.
Well, Support Geeks, guys, go there. Guess what? I'm buying a new laptop. And I'll tell you one thing, the computer I'm using right now, Michael, I told him what I was getting. And he's like, hold up, stop. Let me help you with this. And I'm like, how? He transferred all of my information, all my settings, all my apps, everything over to this new computer. And once I get this new computer, this new laptop, he's going to do the exact same thing. He can do it for you guys. So go to supportgeeks.com, get a hold of Michael, get a hold of his team, get a hold of their ability to just take the stress off of tech. Yeah. My God, real estate agents, guys, I'm one of you. I've been one of you for a quarter century. We don't like to deal with this. Go get help. Seriously. I'm not talking therapist. I'm talking supportgeeks.com. So, Michael, Until next time, what are we talking about next show? Do we have any ideas what we're talking about on the next show?
I don't know. We'll plan it this week and come up with something good.
Okay. Well, you guys, you know what? It's gonna be something amazing and awesome. Michael is a legend and he's like a unicorn. Like you don't really see him coming. You don't think he's actually alive. And then he shows up at your front door and you're like, oh damn,
I know him.
everything's solved. This is fantastic.
I don't show up at their front door, Greg. That's scary.
Run with the dialogue, okay?
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Anyways, guys, we love you. And until next time, peace
Take
out,
care,
ninjas.
everybody. Thank you.
We love you.